The revolution's begun. The time to stand up has come. We are the rocking of the throne. We are the rocking of the throne.
Hi, my name is Victor Tiffany, the co-founder of Revolt Against Plutocracy. We are the organization from 2016 elections to organize the Burn Your Bust movement. We had every intention when we published Burn Your Bust, Pioneers of Electoral Revolt, of repeating that process, not necessarily in support of Bernie Sanders, but you, the voters, the people who are subscribing to our newsletter, would decide who we would back in 2020. It might be Tulsi or trash the Democratic Party, or in all likelihood, again, Burn Your Bust. Then, last October, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change published a report stating basically that human race had about 10 years in order to cut carbon emissions by around 50%, or else essentially we're doomed, that things would accelerate, we'd be going past a tipping point, and we would basically see food supply, food chains collapse, agriculture collapse, mass extinction, possibly the human race collapse, civilization collapse, coastal cities around the world underwater. I mean, there's all kinds of horrible things. Our intention is to speak about the positive. We decided, because of that report, because climate preservation is the issue of 2020, whether the pundits realize it or not. Bernie was right in the debate with Hillary Clinton when he said the most important issue of foreign policy is climate change. The pundits poo-pooed him. Oh, what about China? What about terrorism? What about Russia? He was right. There's no question about it. Bernie Sanders was right. Climate change is our biggest threat, and climate preservation is our most urgent agenda. Therefore, we're asking people to take a climate climate preservation or bust pledge on our website, climateorbust.us. You go there. If you know your congressional district number, you can fill out a pledge. It'll take you a minute, 2 minutes at the most. If you read the whole page and look up your congressional district, it'll take you all 5, 7 minutes, depending on how quickly you read. But go to that page and commit yourself to a climate preservation candidate. Because what point is it to elect a Democrat to replace Donald Trump if they're only going to accelerate climate change at a slightly slower pace than Donald Trump is? It won't make any difference if the Democratic Party nominee is not a climate preservation candidate. Now, we believe this may turn into Burn Your Bust again. If Sanders is the only candidate willing to commit to climate preservation, and we know he's pretty much on board, then this really will become Burn Your Bust again. In other words, nominate Bernie Sanders to Democratic Party nomination, or else we'll end up probably voting green. No doubt they will sign the climate preservation pledge or candidate contract. It's their option. They have the choice. The candidates have the choice between signing a pledge and signing a contract with voters. That's up to them. But it's up to you to force them to do it by becoming a voter, a pledged voter for climate preservation, a climate preservation voter, pledged voter for 2020. Again, climateorbust.us. Take the pledge, and we'll see you again. We'll be talking further. Thank you very much.
Revolt Against Plutocracy won't just be covering the news about the necessary revolution in the United States. Sometimes we'll be making the news. If you want to stay on top of the revolutionary actions and strategies of grassroots, genuine progressives, and our allies, please subscribe to our YouTube channel today.